Friends from the media, good afternoon. Welcome to the press conference. Now the floor is open.
谢谢发言人。人民日报记者提问：11月25日。
People's Daily on November 25th in response to a question on whether Japan's policy regarding existential threats remains unchanged. The Japanese government adopted at a cabinet meeting a statement saying that Prime Minister's remarks at the parliamentary committee meeting will not change its consistent position. It stressed that the determination of a situation will be made by considering all information based on specific situation, and they don't believe a review is necessary. The statement also said that peace and stability across the strait is very important to Japan's security. What's your comment? On Japanese Prime Minister Takaichi's erroneous remarks, China has articulated its position multiple times. Those remarks seriously violate the principles laid down in the four political documents and has fundamentally eroded the political foundation of bilateral relations. We noted that Japanese side's reference to Japan's consistent position on the Taiwan question. And in its statement on November 25th, the Japanese government still kept mentioning their consistent position on issues concerning Taiwan or repeating that their position is unchanged. This is far from enough. China and the international community want to ascertain what the Japanese side mean exactly by the so-called consistent position and whether they still uphold the One China principle. The Japanese side should honestly and fully articulate their so-called consistent position. What they have just done is playing the issue down, repeating the mere notion and never touching upon the real issue in the hope that somehow the issue would resolve itself. Such schemes will lead nowhere. Moreover, rather than correct its wrongdoing and change its course, Japan time and again made irresponsible remarks in the statement and continue to interfere in China's internal affairs. Taiwan belongs to China, and how to resolve the question and realize national reunification is purely China's internal affair and brooks no judgment or even interference from Japan. China once again urges the Japanese side to take seriously what it has heard from China, reflect on and correct its wrongdoing, retract the erroneous remarks as soon as possible, and take up concrete steps to honor its commitments to China. Next one, please.
Good afternoon. A question from Roy.
路透社，习近平主席是否要求美国总统特朗普向日本首相高市早苗传达任何信息？因为美日通话是在中美通话之后不久进行的。
China has released a readout on the phone call between Chinese and U.S. presidents, which you may refer to. I have no more to offer at the moment. Next one.
谢谢发言人。NHK 记者提问。
NHK is reported that the Chinese government has asked the Chinese airlines to cut the number of flights to Japan that are scheduled before March 2026. Can the ministry confirm that?
I'd refer you to competent authorities for anything specific regarding flights between China and Japan. Next one.
Thank you. Question from AFP.
法新社，美国驻台办事处负责人表示说，欢迎台湾今天宣布的500万美元的费用。中方对此有何评论，以及对于台湾的军事预算有何评论？
Opposes any official or military links between U.S. and China's Taiwan region. This is consistent. The Taiwan authorities seeking independence by military build-up is bound to fail. Next one.
谢谢发言人。澎湃新闻提问。据报道，第18届中国欧盟投
It's reported that the 18th Europe-China Business and Technology Cooperation Fair was successfully held in Chengdu. What's your view on China-EU economic and trade cooperation? Can I have your comment? Since 2002, a total of 18 Euro-China fairs have been held, attracting the participation of over 12,000 Chinese and European companies and reach over 3,300 intent cooperation deals. The fair is one of the largest business technology and innovation cooperation platform between China and Europe, with the most extensive participation from both EU member states and EU businesses. China and the EU have a lot to offer each other's economy with deeply interconnected interests, which makes economic and trade cooperation the anchor in our relations. Over the past 5 decades since the establishment of diplomatic relations, annual bilateral trade has grown from 2.4 billion to more than 780 billion US dollars, and the stock of two-way investment jumped from nearly zero to over 270 billion. So far, nationals from 25 EU member states can travel to China visa-free. The China Railway Express can run more than 120,000 trips, reaching more than 200 cities in 26 European countries. The respective strengths of China and the EU enabled mutual benefit and delivered tangibly to people of both sides. We stand ready to continue stepping up economic and trade cooperation with the EU and promoting the sound and steady development of our relations. We also hope the EU can firmly uphold free trade on its commitment to openness and seize the important opportunities offered by China's development. Next one, please.
Thank you. Another from AFP.
法新社，吉尔吉斯斯坦昨天表示，逮捕了中国一家矿业公司的 CEO， 表示该公司造成了严重的环境问题。中方对此和评论能否提供更多信息？
We've noted relevant reports. Chinese embassy in Kyrgyzstan is verifying information and looking for situation. Chinese government always asks Chinese nationals overseas to abide by local laws and regulation, ask Chinese businesses to operate in accordance with the law. We hope that Kyrgyzstan could handle the case justly and ensure the legitimate rights and interests of Chinese invested companies and Chinese nationals overseas. Thank you. Next one.
发言人 NHK 记者提问。
NHK. The Chinese Foreign Ministry recently said that there have been frequent illegal and criminal activities targeting Chinese citizens in Japan and reminded Chinese citizens to avoid traveling to Japan these days. The Japanese side, however, released data concerning criminal activities targeting Chinese citizens in Japan and pointed out that China's accusations are groundless. Was the ministry's response?
Public security in Japan is not quite sound at the moment, and criminal cases targeting Chinese nationals have happened frequently. Last week, Japanese police arrested 5 Japanese nationals suspected of attacking 2 Chinese nationals. In Japan, extremist and threatening remarks targeting China is rampant online, and Chinese embassy and consulates in Japan have been harassed both online and offline more than once frequently by right-wing provocateurs. We urge the Japanese side to take China's concerns seriously and take concrete actions to ensure the safety and security of Chinese nationals and institutions in Japan. Next one.
Bloomberg News.
彭博社，今天早些时候1个小时前，告示早苗在党首辩论中表示，有议员向他问到，他说他有责任向人民表达好政府的立场，以向人民以及议会表示清楚他的立场。中方的立场是，他不应该说这一些话，不应该表示政府的立场吗？日本政府如何才能够达到中方满意的程度呢？
China's attitude remains clear. We seriously ask Japan to retract erroneous remarks and act on its political commitment to China.
下一个问题。
Next one.
凤凰卫视提问：圣文森特和格
Phoenix TV. Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines themselves have engaged with the Chinese side and explored the possibility of developing relations with China. Can you confirm that the One China principle is a prevailing international consensus and basic norm in international relations? The diplomatic relations between China and 183 countries in the world fully demonstrates that upholding the One China principle is the right thing to do and is where the arc of history bends and public opinion trends. We hope relevant countries will see the prevailing trend, meet these people's aspirations, and make the right choice at an early date. Next one, please.
Any other questions? This is the end of today's press conference. Thank you.